So great you could be with us again. I am joined by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a Food and Wine Sommelier of the Year. The group includes in Alexandria, the Del Rey neighborhood, Evening Star Cafe, right next door, the bottle shop Planet Wine. Also in Old Town, you have Vermilion. Greg, it is always good to see you.
You too, bud.
As we wind down and say goodbye to 2019. Amazing. What is on tap this week?
This week we have a very special celebratory beer, I would say, from my close friend Christian De Benedetti, who has a really special and singular, unique brewery out in Oregon. It's called Wolves and People. It's been around since 2016, but Christian's been involved with beer for far longer than that. Home brewing, writing about beer. He was a journalist for 9 years, and I think he'd always been kind of planning to one day open a little tiny farmhouse brewery on his family's farm in Oregon, right outside of Portland, about 30 minutes outside. And he did 3 years ago. And he's making phenomenal stuff, really, really fun, interesting, but always delicious beer. And that's what's important here. It's not just like, ingredients for the sake of. Primarily mixed fermentation farmhouse style beers that go really well with locally sourced ingredients. So lots of stuff from the farm itself, including hazelnuts, which we're going to find in this beer, which is called La Truffe. Other things like rhubarb and fir needles and you name it, always in service of the flavors. This one, though, La Truffe, is a beautiful, low alcohol, sub 5% stout, dry stout, that has hazelnuts from the farm, but also has Oregon-grown white truffles, and thus the name.
So, were you just saying a moment ago that beer is supposed to taste good?
Yeah.
That might come as news to some of you.
Well, no, I guess what I was trying to say is like...
No, I know you were, but go ahead.
No, but the thing is, sometimes there's just ingredient-driven beers for the sake of it. And at the end of the day, you're trying to make something that's delicious. And sometimes I think some brewers will use interesting ingredients more for the marketing angle than for the flavor. This is clearly a beer that drinks like a beer. You get the truffle, you get the hazelnut, but it's just a beautiful, creamy, effervescent, dry stout. Only 4.7% alcohol too, so it's like so sessionable, and absolutely delicious.
And we're at Blue Jacket, the brewery, and 2 weeks ago we did Reindeer Games, which is a
8%,
stout, has peanut butter in it, and it has a very nice, to me, just about perfect sweetness to it. This is not, I don't find sweet at all.
No, it's dry,
think it's not
bone
the
dry.
intention.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that. So
it's cool though.
It's really good.
Yeah, like normally you see hazelnut stout, you expect 12% with lactose and barrel aging, and that's that. It's just cool that breweries out there are still innovating and exploring and not just following some of the trends, I'd say. Very cool.
It throws off a real nice,
truffle. I mean, it's like, it's truffle. It's nutty, it's earthy, it's kind of garlicky. It's amazing.
Now, I like truffles and Italian food made with truffles, but it can be pretty potent. This is not overdone whatsoever.
It's
so
restrained.
if you go, oh, truffles, no thanks, try it because it is very restrained.
Totally.
What would you pair this with?
I mean, I'm just thinking about truffles. So risotto of any kind, that's like a classic truffle shaving dish. Interestingly, another thing that people will serve truffles with are just like plain omelets. And this is great with that. You can imagine that was just like a really fluffy, delicious omelet. Rabbit, veal, game birds of all kinds, charcuterie, like salamis, hard cheeses like pecorino, parmesan. But then again, since it's only 4.7%, it's so creamy and restrained on the palate, I can do this with seafood like sole, but you'll see a lot of Dover sole around. So like cod, red snapper, mahi-mahi, I think would be amazing with this.
Very good. If you see it, give serious consideration to giving it a try. Greg, thanks as always. Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure, and we will say this before I say the last words, we hope the very best for you and yours in 2020.
2020.
Happy New Year. Be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.